This is 40 Days and Nights.
This is our executive chef, Sarah.
And this is co-host, Kevin.
Mm-hmm. And do we have any messages from you for our subscribers today?
I think we are currently locked at 7 subscribers, so we might...
And again, John is 2 of them, so only 6.
Only 6. So we might have hit our plateau. I've just heard from Kyle that he has not seen yesterday's yet, so he is falling behind.
My message for our subscribers, as always, is why? Because again, I believe in us, so that's good. But yeah, let's get into our activity for today.
What's our activity?
So we'll be talking about a movie, or maybe movies in 2000, which I think both of us, when we started doing our research for this, learned that the year 2000, not the 2000s, 2000 was a wild year in cinema. Who wants to go first today?
Mine will definitely be shorter because for anyone who doesn't know, viewers, Kevin loves movies. And he loves to talk about movies.
It was, oh my God. I was basically only on Wikipedia, and I spent probably at least an hour researching just things in the 2000 of movies last night, which might not seem like a lot, but it's way more than is necessary for to produce this show. No. Oh, this was also 2000? Are you kidding me?
This was in the year 2000?
No.
So
oh, well, you won already.
That's right, people. It is Digimon the movie. These are the first generation Digidestined, which are a group of ragtag teens, when you can already kind of guess who the leaders of it are, or / the more important people, because it goes in descending order. Some fun things about this. It has an opener to the film, which is very meta. I don't know if anyone saw this show on Nickelodeon, but it was this kind of terrifying humanoid girl while also still being animated. I think her name was like Angela or something like that.
Yeah,
anyway,
I think you're right.
The first 5 minutes are an opener where Angela and her friends are trying to get in to see Digimon the movie. Like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot of layers. Into a little bit of a backstory on Kairi and Tai, so the siblings, where they find their first digital egg. The reason I put this one as my first screenshot is because she looks flipping adorable. Look at that child in a koala suit picking up cans. Behind her, you can kind of see, is a giant Agumon who is destroying the vending machine. Hence why the cans are there. She does not care, which will take us into the first time Sarah might cry in Digimon the movie. Greymon gets knocked unconscious. Kairi is weeping again in that adorable koala suit. So that's just rough as it is. And she's desperately trying to awaken him with a whistle. And she can't do it because she's little. And so then her brother takes the whistle. Then Greymon is awakened and will just absolutely demolish Parrotmon. Scene opens with him trying to send an email to Sora, his arguable love interest. He is having the classic conundrum to sign it from or love. And then in, your fun little mashup mix-up, you have Kairi come in and send the email for him, which then elicits this response. The third part of the movie is that there is a superbug Digimon that is, I don't even know, invading, hacking into the mainframe. I'm kind of unsure on sending a missile to kill many people. I chose this scene because Mimi, who is literally useless, is sitting on the beach for this entire movie.
And I also, to add a little bit of context to the scene you're showing here, can you describe what we're seeing her look at?
That is a missile on the way to kill thousands of people.
Yes. Is it, if I remember, it might be a nuclear missile?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it is. So it's, I believe, on the way to Colorado.
It is like legitimately a weapon of mass destruction that they have.
Just watching.
Yep.
They are getting just absolutely demolished. And in true Digimon fashion, the way they revive themselves is by using the souls of children. I can't look at this picture. Is by using the souls of children through their emails. You've got Omnimon, and he wins because at some point in all Japanese anime, everyone just keeps powering up until eventually the hero powers up just one more than the other one, and then wins. About whatever the heck this Digimon is, this rabbit with with just massive guns for hands.
I think if our viewers aren't familiar with Digimon, this is classic Digimon. You have
Yeah.
an animal, you give it a gun, toss a belt on it, maybe a pair of jeans, and send it off into the world. You want that creature to be a weird mix of like steampunk and like 90s grunge aesthetic. That's Digimon, and that is what Digimon will always be.
Positive soundtrack. Absolute banger. 10 out of 10
Truly.
with jam. Favorites, the song Run Around, Digirap, the song All Star by Smash Mouth, and Kids in America all make an appearance in this soundtrack. Ethos, highly nostalgic. Somehow, even in the year 2000, this movie reminds me of the good old days, even in the year it came out. Negatives of the film, gotta have them. The plot, still don't really know quite what the main idea was.
And I do, for people who haven't seen this film, the American version, I believe, is actually 3 different Digimon films released in Japan that they decided to mash together.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is a fine thread they kind of weave through to like make it one story, and it does not work.
And he's got a great Digimon that I frankly don't think gets enough screen time. He's got that weird seal thing, which becomes Big Walrus, which becomes Big Walrus with big hammers.
Again, that's how you make a Digimon. And eventually they all become basically demons or angels.
Right.
Everyone gets wings eventually. Your Digimon and then play. Who does get more wings? Oh my god. Yeah, look at that. I also always love how Palamon is like just absolutely adorable. And then as a man, he evolves into basically a humanoid.
I termed him Gunbun.
Oh, Gunbun is such a great name. I love it.
But
oh, nice, nailed it.
Oh, wow.
So professional. So these are my honorable mentions, which I am apparently apt to do. I think, and 2000 was truly an insane year. All 4 of these films came out that we're looking at right here.
Mm-hmm.
Disney itself released 8 films that year, which is insanity. Let's see, it was also a big year for horror. 20 years ago is actually when they did the first Final Destination film. They re-released The Exorcist that year. There's also a Dracula film, which I think is, you could probably trace it back to some like the first instances of like modernizing a monster film and also getting like a little sexy with it, you know? I think Gerard Butler plays Dracula. I'm not sure if he plays Dracula's like son, but they basically did the thing where they're like, Abraham Van Helsing's great-great-great-grandson living in New York. And it's like, that's like, this is like where it started. It's also the year X-Men happened, and like that's where superhero films really started getting like big. Film debuts that year included Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Chris Evans. So just several different Avengers. So like I said, I was all over this Wikipedia page, learned a lot of useless information. But here are my honorable mentions. I think we have Rugrats in Paris the movie. I don't know where y'all were in 2000, but this was a big deal. But yeah, so Rugrats came out, really shook up the format for that show, adding 2 new characters. Mission Impossible, love me a Tom Cruise film. And this one is absolutely wild. That franchise just gets crazier and crazier every installation. Haven't even seen the newest one yet, so I'm excited for that eventually. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. That happened. And it's here. I put it up. That's all I have to say about it, really. And then Memento. I think Memento is actually like genuinely a good film. And I think I think it's worth a watch for sure. The other ones are also obviously worth a watch, except for Rocky and Bullwinkle. That is, I don't know who that was for. But today I will primarily be discussing scared male adventure buddies whose relationship is strained to the point of dissolution, only for one to make a personal sacrifice to reconcile with and save the other, all while being set in a slightly ambiguous Meso South American
Ooh.
great civilization.
Can I take a guess at what it is?
Of course you can.
It is The Road to El Dorado.
Sarah Davis. The Road to El Dorado, but also The Emperor's New Groove.
Ooh, good points.
Hit you with that twofer. I mean, look at these guys. Look at these lovable, mostly men. One is a llama.
He's a man inside.
Yeah, formerly a man, currently a llama. I mean, when we're talking about films in 2000, how else could we talk about DreamWorks and Disney's probably not as lucrative as they wanted installations?
No.
But yeah, I mean, just two great films. To start with El Dorado, most of my main points are already on the screen, but just a fun film. I think family friendly. We all really liked it. I think it does show that friendship was the true treasure all along, which is again completely original. So they nailed it. I did say I'd talk about Hans Zimmer, and as you can see, for some reason, Elton John and Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for this. That should surprise everyone, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, if you think back on El Dorado, you're not thinking, yes, Elton John and Hans Zimmer, they collaborated for that, but they did, and that is odd. I also included my point about the jaguar monster because I was legitimately scared of that as a child. I remember fearfully staying up at night thinking the jaguar monster would come to life and come find my house. I have a very specific memory of this, and I did not watch it again for years because I was terrified of the jaguar monster. And then going over to Emperor's New Groove, I mean, the first point is insane. The voice acting cast is John Goodman, Patrick Warburton, Eartha Kitt is Yzma. Wendy Malick makes an appearance, and she's not a villain, which I feel Wendy Malick usually plays in a film, so that's kind of interesting. I literally can't think of who plays Kuzco right now. David Spade, that's it. So truly an all-star cast, super quotable. I think most people could remember a line from Emperor's New Groove as opposed to El Dorado. I feel like that's a little bit easier. I'm trying to think of like an El Dorado quote, you know? Oh, they say both. Both sounds good. Both. We'll take both. That's like one thing. I feel like both are still like in the zeitgeist, I think, of like terms of like memes and gifts and stuff. So they really have stood the test of time.
Well, they've got the guitar.
Oh yeah, that's a very good gif. Yeah, where he plays the guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just two lovable goons, and for both films, really, just so many lovable goons between these two films. Wow, classic, iconic, so good. However, an interesting thing is both were not their respective studios' biggest successes of the year. So while we did want to talk about good films in the year 2000, technically these were not the best films from those studios. So you must feel foolish for remembering them, because what you should be remembering is What Lies Beneath by DreamWorks, but more importantly, Dinosaur by Disney. Dinosaur, a film we all clearly remember and saw. And that is all I got here. Well, as always, thanks, I guess, for joining us. We tried our best.
I had fun.
I did too. We'll keep this to a tight 5 next time, I think.